Sick.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Hello.
Hi.
What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? Karl, how are you today?
Today's okay. It was really slow and peaceful at work today. Really only saw regulars, so it was cool. No complaints.
Not at all?
One of my regulars told me a joke. Do you want to hear it? It's
Sure.
pretty funny. So, why did the Latin man see his psychiatrist?
Why did the Latin man see his psych? I don't know.
To help his panic attacks. Oh, man, it got me.
Fuck.
I love that guy. He always comes in and tells me jokes.
That
It's
was
awesome.
fucking awful.
He knows me well now. He knows that I'm the only person that will laugh at him.
I am a sleepy boy today, which I think it'll help me because I realized something that I do. All right, so I did an interview last night to promote my new song "Inside" by Sungrove on Temple University's radio station WHIP with my friend Caitlin. She interviewed me, and she was asking me all these questions, and I know that I ramble a good bit on this podcast, but last night when she was asking me the questions, I realized how bad I actually ramble. So I think maybe being tired, my brain won't move as fast and I can actually stay on topic. And the reason I think that I ramble so much is I have, maybe it's not unique, but I have a quote unquote unique skill of doing these mental gymnastics to connect, very opposing thoughts, right? You've seen it, especially when like you and I argue, I'll start going off the rails, making some point that is, maybe in favor of your side. And then somehow I'll catch myself and then somehow like loop it back, right? I do crazy mental gymnastics. So I rarely ever suffer the consequences of rambling and getting off topic because somehow I'm always able to bring it back. But in that interview, she'd ask me a question. I'd start the answer, end up somewhere completely different, realize as I'm speaking, I'm not talking about the fucking question anymore, and then just loop it back and, in some convoluted way. I'm fucking doing it right now. I'm talking and I don't even know what I'm saying.
The point is that you thought maybe your brain would slow down because you're tired.
Apparently, I'm just a fucking moron, though.
Maybe you're just dumb. I don't know.
Oh my
I don't think so,
God.
though. You're just... Dude, you got there. Look at that. We did it. What was the fucking...
Well, the point? I don't fucking know.
The word. It was extrapolate, right? Was that the word last
yeah,
week?
Extrapolate. That was from last week. I really went off. Yeah, I was trying to fucking edit that podcast, and I was just like, holy hell, Mr. Loving, you really go off the rails. But yeah, so I'm fucking exhausted today. Today was the day of Inside, my latest single coming out. Shameless plug. So I woke up super early to post a TikTok because I read really briefly online. They're like, oh, you should post really early in the morning. And I was like, all right, that makes sense because, people scroll in the morning and I want to get the East Coast people because a lot of people who follow me are from like Philly and stuff like that. So I was like, all right, I'll wake up hella early. So I woke up at like 4:45, got ready to post my TikTok or whatever. Totally worth it. Got a total of like 8 views. Not fucking worth it at all. But then my brain was all going because I was looking at blue light and shit like that. So then I wasn't tired. Couldn't go back to sleep. Had a bunch of stuff to do. Just figured I'd start my day. And then at like 9 a.m., I was ready for bed. So that's where I'm at today. But we got rehearsal later.
You can average 3.5 hours of work before getting sweepy again.
I I fucking guess. I don't know.
That's all you can do, bro. Your job now has tailored you to work in short bursts.
I don't really want to talk about my job, but you want to talk about your job?
No.
What are you? Okay, what
No, I don't.
if you couldn't be a musician, what would you be? Would you like me to go first while you think about it?
A zoologist.
That's my answer. That's my answer. Would you legitimately be a zoologist?
Probably not.
I actually think I would be. I mean, I don't know. I don't really know what it takes to be a zoologist. I think you have to be like, I think you have to have like a doctorate, which I don't think I'd be able to get because I don't really like school all that much. But I do think I would probably do something with animals.
Yeah, I think you probably need to. Well, I don't know. There's got to be like a low-level zoologist that like just throws the bays of hail into the fucking shit.
I think those are called animal janitors. I don't think that's a zoologist.
Well, yeah, but like you still get to like participate.
Yeah,
That's all you really want is participation.
No,
right?
no. All I really want
You
is a best friend monkey.
Yeah. Well, you could always buy one someday.
I don't think it's responsible to own monkeys. I think I've heard some
You
stories
could
about.
volunteer at a reserve.
There's a bonobo reserve not too far from here. I'm not a real big fan of bonobos.
Yeah, fuck those fools.
No, don't not
We're
fuck.
only about chimps in this household.
Yeah, chimp. This is a chimp household. I went to the LA Zoo one time, and there's the chimp enclosure, and they were introducing a new chimp into this group of chimps.
Oh God, did they beat the shit out of him?
They didn't beat the shit out of them, but they were fucking assholes.
Yeah.
They so the chimp's like right there in front of them, and the one chimp took the back of his hand and was just like, fucking hammer fisting him.
Being a dick.
He was just knocking him in the head, and then they're super high up. They tried to kick him off the highest thing. He like caught himself, but they tried to fucking
Kill him.
They tried to push him off a building essentially.
They're just fucking around. Boys will be boys. Am I right? What would I be? I would manage.
See, this is this is the problem with this podcast is I ramble and you don't speak.
I want to get the right answers.
See, that's not what it's about, Carl. It's about just rambling, and whatever comes out, that is the answer that you give.
I think I would manage some sort of store with Jake.
Jake is our friend.
And
for
I would
everybody who doesn't
live.
know.
I would live in an apartment above it, and every day I would go downstairs. It would just be like a fucking like newsstand, fucking bullshit store, and the whole purpose would just to be have like a group of patrons, like Satriani's in The Sopranos, that just are always outside, and all they do is harass everybody that comes in, and that's it.
That's such a wholesome plan B.
Well,
I'm thinking dolphin trainer.
for me or you,
For you.
I don't want to train fucking
I'll
dolphins.
train the monkeys. You train the dolphins. And then we'll have swimming monkeys that swim with the dolphins. And they do tricks together.
That could be cool.
And we'll open up our own amusement park.
I'd be a race car driver.
All right, Carl, take the wheel. I'm going to take a nap.
I see. You want to know what it is? I feel like you don't ever want to talk about the things that I suggest.
I always want to talk about what you want to talk about.
Well,
Go ahead.
Let's see what's in my notes app, shall
Jesus
we?
fucking Christ.
I don't have much prepared for today.
Well, what do you
My
prepare?
mind is scrambled.
What do you do for this podcast, Carl?
Nothing. Next question.
Okay.
Podcast. No, those are bad ideas.
No. It's fine. It's fine. Do you ever get nervous before you play shows?
No, but I haven't played a solo show yet, or like I haven't played my music yet. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Not really. Like
When was the last time you got nervous for anything? Like when was that last time you had that like butterflies in your stomach, like your hands and legs are like shaky. Nervousness.
With typically arguments with homeless people at work is when that happens for me these days. Just general, or like if it's like a difficult customer or some bullshit like that. Yeah, like confrontation generally is what does it. Usually with strangers. But in a good way, that's not like because I'm nervous about dying. Maybe like the Palace show.
You were nervous for that?
It was just like I was just antsy for it because it was really cool, you know.
I guess antsy and nervous are one and the same, right? Aren't they? Because there's
adrenaline.
Yeah, that adrenaline rush. I think
You
it's good for you. It's good for you to feel like that.
I know when the time comes for us to play my music out, I'm gonna be a fucking wreck for sure.
Just have a couple shots. A few.
It's gonna be
6, 12. Who knows?
Yeah, it is something that definitely makes me nervous. But we'll cross that bridge someday when we get there.
Yeah. This episode is boring the shit out of me, Karl.
You're sleepy.
I know, but I really thought you were going to pick up the slack here. How long have we been going? 11:45. I legitimately want to stop this episode.
Well, we're going to do 2. So,
can we stop this episode?
Why?
I actually want to.
We can't anymore. Or we have to now.
Well, we could keep going technically. I mean, it's not like
anybody's going to listen this far in anyway.
Yeah, who the fuck is going to listen to this shit? They're going to hear Karl take 32 minutes to decide that he wants to own a fucking pastry shop with our friend Jake.
Pastry shop could be cool.
Yeah,
think about that.
Sick. All right, we'll fucking keep going. Whatever. I'll tell you how the sausage is made, kids. Pretty much, Karl and I hit record, and we record 2 of these fucking podcasts. Usually one of them is fucking Colin stands over there and fucking plays with his Switch.
And breathes loud.
And fucking distracts me while I'm trying to make my fucking points. And then we do one episode, and then we go, okay, cool, let's do another one. And then we choose which one we do, which one we put out. So this one, I can already feel the next one's going to be the one we choose.
Well, what else is going on?
Fuck, bro.
What are some current events? Have you seen the LA River recently? It's filled to the brim.
It's a rainy day here in Los Angeles. It's a rainy fucking day.
Yeah, what the fuck does any of this shit even matter? It's rained in Los Angeles for 2.5 fucking months straight. Everything is dark and gloomy, just like you in your fucking pale blue waffle weave shirt.
Hey, don't talk about my waffle weave shirt, bro. I just found this shirt. I haven't worn it in a while. Boy, did we need this rain. This podcast is boring. Let's talk. What's the most boring thing you can fucking think of, Karl? Oh, I'll tell you what's fucking boring. Not really. This is kind of cool, but I had a dream last night. I already told you about it, but I'm going to pretend that I didn't, and then I'm going to say it on the podcast, because it could save this piece of shit fucking episode.
We could just save it. We could say it in the next episode, too.
I'll say it again then, because you already fucking know what I'm going to say, so might as well lie twice, right?
Yeah.
All right, so, Karl, dude, let me fucking tell you, Karl, about the fucking dream I had last night. Holy shit. So.
Was I in it?
So you and I were staying in a tiny home. I don't know why. It was not our home. It was like a vacation thing. But we woke up and there's this dude like slamming on the door, jiggling the doorknob, and he's like, screaming or whatever. I can't remember if like what the fuck he was saying. I think it was like just general nonsense. And I was like, Karl, dude, like this fucking guy's trying to break into our tiny home. And you're like, oh, shit. All right. Well, like we thought maybe he was just banging on the door. And if like we opened it up, he would stop. I'm like, let's see. So I kind of opened up the door. And as soon as I did, he tried to bust in. So we, had to push him back out. And then I was like, all right, fuck, we gotta fucking fight this guy. So you handed me a knife, like a big kitchen knife, and we're like, all right, on the count of 3, we're gonna open that door. He's gonna come in, and we're gonna fucking beat the shit out of this guy. And so we open the door. He comes in. I kind of like went around him, and I slashed him, like, you know, just
In his
got
back?
I think it was his arm, maybe. I don't know. I just whatever. And then you know how dreams like cut fast.
Yeah, all of a sudden.
Yeah. So like I slashed him, and then the next thing I know, he had like a girlfriend or like a wife or something like that. Huh. Somehow she like got involved. She was not there before. Then all like boom, she's there. And I fucking cut this dude's head off.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
What the fuck? Yeah, in this dream, I cut this dude's head off, and I was like, and you're like, dude, you fucking just decapitated that guy. And I was like,
that is a word I'd use in the moment, too.
And I was like, fuck, bro. All right, well, we should probably call the cops. And I was like, yeah, we got to call the cops now, because if we like try to hide it and they find out later, they're going to think I murdered this guy. I was like, all right, we'll just call the cops. I'll just explain what happened, and then I'll be fine. So we called the cops, and I was like, yeah, I just cut a dude's fucking head off. And they're like, okay. Then all of a sudden, apparently the tiny home was in my grandparents' front yard. They're like, so I had the knife, and I like put it in the yard, and I like started to try to cover up my tracks, even though I didn't think I like knew I wasn't going to be in trouble, because I already explained it to the cops that this guy was trying to break into our tiny home. And I was like, all right, but I'm going to still like, I'm going to like put the knife over here so it looks like it was more of a struggle. So I was like trying to make it seem worse than it was, even though it was already fine. And then the cops came, and I was like, fuck, they're going to think I'm like trying to hide something because I like did up my story, even though I was already going to be okay. And then I woke up.
Nice. Was that stressful, that dream? Like, did you wake up and like your heart was pounding and shit? Or was that like
no
just typical David Loving slumber?
That was typical David Loving slumber. What was stressful is there's a hat hanging in our room, and I woke up and I saw the hat, and the way that like I saw it, it looked like a head. It looked like a fucking head.
That was the guy's head.
And no, it looked like a woman's face, like a demon woman's face. But I do that sometimes where I wake up and I think I see somebody in our room, and I've gotten pretty like used, like I know it's fake, and I have to close my eyes and open them again, and then I like usually goes away. Like one time I saw some dude who was dressed in like a trucker hat, and he was like kind of fat. He kind of looked like not
Are these things like objects in your room that just look different?
Yeah,
or
because like
just
my eyes
hallucinating?
No, because like my eyes are groggy. If there's like a jacket hanging on the wall or something like that, I'll think that's a person. But who's the guy? Is it John Belushi? He's in Animal House.
John Belushi.
It is John Belushi?
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy looked like John Belushi. And I opened my eyes one time, and he was standing in our corner, and he started sprinting at me. But I knew it was fake.
Jerking off.
No, he wasn't jerking off. But I knew it was fake. And this time, I opened my eyes, I saw it, knew it was fake, closed my eyes, opened them again, it was still there, and I took like 3 times for it not to look like it. So that was kind of stressful.
That's creepy.
Yeah, it's fuck.
When I was a kid, I used to convince myself.
Is that night terrors? Or is that sleep paralysis? No, because I'd be paralyzed.
No. Yeah. It's like kind of along the lines. I don't, I'm no expert, but seems like, you're kind of one of those fucked up people that goes through shit like that.
I usually scream in my sleep. That hasn't really been, you guys live with me. Does that happen all the time anymore?
I don't hear it.
Yeah.
Speaking of us fighting a dude, how bad would it have been at that fucking bar?
Oh my god.
So we went to a show. What's the promoter?
WFNM. We found new music.
Yeah.
WFNM.
So they are cool. They put on a free show. We were going to support Lemon Drop and Cole and see them. And we got there at the beginning of this girl, Taylor Saxton's set, and she was fucking sick. And I guess there was a group of cunty douchebags in the crowd.
This girl was fucking awesome.
Yeah. She was phenomenal.
Incredible. It's
Definitely would demand anybody's attention that wasn't too drunk to be there.
Yeah.
And I guess there was a group of guys that were chatting through the whole thing in between songs and during songs. And she brought it up a couple times on stage, like, hey, like, that's fucking rude, but like not directed to them specifically, but just saying, stop talking. And then we had a little run-in with this fucking behemoth of a man after the show that thought that it was you, me, and Noah speaking the whole time, and he came up and asked us and then tried to pick a fight with Noah. This guy was easily 7 feet tall and like 300 pounds, and Noah is like 5'8",
5'9", 10.
5'9", and
5'10".
like 100.
Well,
5'10", which is
5'10".
pretty much 6 feet. But for the story, he's
5'8".
5'10". For the story, he's 5'5" and weighs 120 pounds. No, so like 150 pounds. This guy was actually not exaggerating, twice Noah's size.
This guy was massive. Karl's 6'2". He made Karl look like a small person.
Yeah, he could have been like an Olympic fucking wrestler and power lifter. This fucking guy,
was
he was
massive.
huge, and he tried to straight up like pick a fight with Noah. Like Noah tried to shake his hand. He's like, no. And
All right, now I'm going to do my version of the story. So we were at this WFNM show, right? We were supporting our friends in Lemon Drop, which is a band here in Los Angeles. Well, it's one girl, but she has a live band that our friend Cole plays in, who is also my guitar player in my live set. So we're at this show, and Karl was talking through the whole set.
Stop it. I actually did not hear anybody talking. I guess I was just so engrossed with.
I did. There was a group of like fratty douchebags next to us, not next to us. So I understand. Well, let me put it this way: I don't understand why this guy came up to us, because what a fucking piece of shit. I thought he was a bouncer at first.
Yeah, it was very much seemed like he was like trying to kick us out because he worked there.
Yeah, and then he's like, so he comes up. I know I am pretty much just gonna retell the story there, but because he asked us, he's like, "Were you guys the one talking?" And Noah made the joke. He was like, "Yeah, it was us." And then the guy took it fucking seriously because apparently he's not getting enough fucking oxygen to his brain because he's too big.
The air's too thin up there.
Jesus Christ! So he like didn't get the joke, obvious fucking joke, and then he tried to fucking like he was like kind of like pushing Noah. It's like, dude, you are massive.
Yeah, you have a responsibility to act like a pussy if you can literally kill anybody, no problem.
I said it before, I'll say it again. I think obviously he's been able to act like that probably his entire life, like a fucking asshole, because who the hell was ever going to fight that guy? No one. Not UFC fighters would probably be like, that's probably not a good idea. This guy was legitimately almost 7 foot.
Even the fucking like the actual bouncers at that bar were like my height and probably only like 20 pounds heavier, if that. They would fucking get destroyed by a guy that size, you know? It's
yeah, so that guy's a fucking dick. So if he's a fucking fan of this podcast, suck my fucking dick.
Yeah.
But don't ever come near me, and don't look up where I'm playing shows, and don't come because you scare me.
And suck my balls. That being said, Taylor Saxton, I'm a fan.
Me fucking
Love
too.
You were so fucking good.
It's very, I wouldn't say it's rare that I see, you see a band that you don't know, WFNM, it's like a new music discovery kind of showcase thing. So they're not huge bands.
There's no guarantee how good somebody's going to be. You know what I mean? Generally, people are all like, they have their shit together, but
I'm also kind of a cunt. Like I have a pretty high standard for like live music. Like it, because I'm an asshole and I'm kind of like, oh, that's good. That was good. That's, kind of my reaction most of the time. This girl blew me the fuck away.
They were also so fucking well rehearsed, and I don't know how much she's been gigging. Her album's not even out yet, but a small independent musician. Has Kian played? Like 4 since he moved out here, 4 or 5.
Sure,
dude. I mean, they sounded like they'd been playing together for years. They
I
were
don't know.
so
Kian's
good.
fucking shows sound
Yeah,
that tight though.
true.
It's different. Kian's
Yeah, it's
screaming
very-
and
yeah. I guess that's
being
kind
a
of
wild-
what I mean is like I mean all of them were very talented and like 3-part harmony on like vocal harmony on every fucking song and it was sick. It was so good.
yeah.
Anyway, check her out because
Yeah.
she fucking deserves all the attention she can get.
Facts.
25 minutes in. Yeah, this is good.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Fuck you, you fucking asshole. 7-foot piece of shit.
Yeah.